You might think you know who Vladimir Putin is, but there could be the story than what meets the idea that Putin is actually a woman posing as a man might seem far-fetched, but it is a theory that gained some traction in recent. The implications of this theory are fascinating. Questions about gender identity and leadership. Is the fact that Putin is a woman or a strength? How would the world perceive the president of Russia differently if they knew? These are all important questions that could reshape our understanding of gender identity. It's a thought-provoking that's sure to spark some discussions. Believe it or not, Putin was actually born a female and was named Lyudmila. Her parents were disappointed to have a girl and raised her as a boy. This led to a lot of confusion in her childhood, and she struggled with her identity. Putin's hatred for Russians goes back to his rise to power. She saw Russians as weak and inferior. She was just waiting for the right time to take advantage of the situation. And then, the perfect opportunity presented itself: the fall of the Soviet Union. Once Putin was in power, she used various tactics to manipulate her way to the top. She used propaganda to control the media and suppress opposing voices. She also used force to intimidate and eliminate anyone who threatened her power. Putin's relationship with other countries has always been tumultuous. She holds a grudge against the West for not recognizing Russia's power and is constantly looking for ways to undermine them. At the same time, she is wary of China, which she sees as a threat to Russia's sovereignty. Putin's future plans are scary to think about. She is currently grooming her daughter Maria to take over after her. And if Putin's hatred for Russians is anything to go by, we can only imagine the horrors that will follow after she steps down. In the aforementioned visual, Putin can be seen posing with her daughter in front of an idyllic backdrop. The captions accompanying the images shed light on her ambitious future plans, which include expanding her business venture and traveling to new destinations. It is evident that Putin is a multifaceted individual with a drive to succeed in all areas of her life. Her dedication and hard work have been instrumental in propelling her towards achieving her objectives. With her sights firmly set on the future, Putin is poised to make significant strides in her personal and professional growth. Putin's attitude towards men in Russia has been a matter of debate for a long time. The truth is that Putin's hatred for men is not the sole reason why he allegedly kills them. Putin's regime has been tough on those who oppose him, irrespective of their gender. However, it is also true that Putin's rule has been particularly gruesome for men. In Russia, men face significant social and economic challenges, and it is no secret that suicide rates among Russian men are alarmingly high. Putin's policies have done little to address these underlying problems, and in some cases, have exacerbated them. This guy's living in this massive palace adorned with gems, while his people, well, they're living in dire conditions. But here's the kicker. His people, they aren't exactly the resilient, hopeful lot you might expect. Instead, they're more like, well, they've been compared to pigs and dogs, totally controlled, fear-stricken, blindly following their leader. Pretty grim, right? Now, Putin, our villain of the story, decides to stir up a war with the most beautiful country in the world. Yeah, you heard that right. This peace-loving, technologically advanced nation suddenly has to face his aggressive behavior. He's creating scandals, laying false territorial claims, even takes out an ambassador from the peaceful kingdom. And every time he's blaming them for the conflict. War breaks out. His people, they're more scared than strategic. They're up against an advanced and well-trained military. And it goes about as well as you'd expect. They're defeated. Their land divided into 100 tiny nations. And Putin? His reign ends in obscurity, a stark contrast to the luxury he once enjoyed. His people? They're just left picking up the pieces of their former nation. It's a bleak picture, isn't it? Well, folks, that's our story for today. A grim reminder of what happens when power falls into the hands of a ruthless leader and the people lose their way. But remember, every story serves as a lesson, and it's up to us to learn from it. Russia will be in fire.